Welcome back, guys. Today we're going to be looking at the resources that introduced with Aislinn and the High Elf Sea Patrol faction that has just been launched. I played for a little bit of this, around 6 hours yesterday, and it has completely been absolutely bonkers. It's a really fun campaign. It's not your typical Alt 1 centered campaign. Rather, it's based around your Lord, Aislinn, where he is. There he is. He's a Horde faction with Horde faction mechanics, but you also get to have build settlements, and you also get these new cool systems of outposts that allows you to expand your influence all over the world. Now, the purpose of this video, as I said, is an understanding of the resources. As you can see up here, we have a lot of different resources, a lot of different mechanics, and they intertwine. Normally, all factions and most factions have one resource or two at most, and the primary one is gold. Gold is used to build, to make your armies, keep your armies, upkeep, recruit, all of that beautiful stuff. In this case, since we're high elves, we also get influence, and this is the classic standard influence. This is used for faction influence, diplomacy, internal politics, with the intrigue at court, where you can just pick another faction. Let's say we want Clan Squire to like us. Of course, they don't like us very much, and you can spend influence to improve or decrease relationships. If I look at another high elf, holy crap, there's so many. Where are they? Camry, Lybaras, Avalon. Let's see. Avalon. See, they like us very much. If we spend 5 influence, they will like us a little bit more. Plus 40, high patrol, and you have this event that happens. Now, influence is obtained through winning battles, buildings, and certain characters, such as, for example, a noble. A noble can generate influence through secure influence over here. Through battles, armies can secure influence. As you can see over here, I probably have a little bit of influence generation. Actually, I do not. I haven't fought a battle in a while, I think. Let's see, this guy doesn't have either. Okay. That beats my point. But I'm certain that I have some influence buildings up here, such as the Noble Consulate over there and over here, which generating influence, growth, and all the other good stuff. Now, the purpose of this is the High Elf Sea Patrol has a variety of other things. Starting with Patron of the Realms, it's a new mechanic that's been introduced. I believe this is available for all the High Elves as well. Again, it uses influence and gold, where you essentially assign a lord to a specific region, where you take control of the region. You can steal it from other elves, where you pay extra influence to take it from them, and you essentially gain the benefits of that region. For example, I have the High Lord Aislinn, Sea Lord Aislinn. He's the Illyrian patronage, and since it's level 3, which you level it up using influence, he has Favour of the Phoenix King, campaign movement increase, all of these incredible stuff. And really cool thing is it's one of the recruitment requirements for confederating Attain, which is the most amazing thing. Also, once you get to level 3, you're basically immune from other lords taking it. They don't think the other lords really get that high level, but they do get, when they switch, a little bit of defense. Now, if we look at the court unity, the thing we were talking about before is that if we look, for example, Attain, as we were saying, you need to have patronage level 3 in Illyrian and Attain, which I do. I currently control both regions. And if I do so, and then I have Favour of the Phoenix King level 5, which I currently have level 8, as you see here, and we'll discuss how you get that soon, I can just force confederate and gain access to all the armies, all the territories, and this will be absolutely incredible. Now, this said, rather than we gain the territories, in this case, the territories are given to the United Maritime Patrol. We will keep control of all the sea Petrol outposts built in those territories, we will get all the armies. But since we cannot occupy all that land due to another faction mechanic, this guy down here, I'm not sure if he's still down here, but there was, I think the game just crashed. There, I think he's no longer there. There was a guy down here that spawned during the live stream. We saw him and I was like, what the hell is that guy doing there? I think he's gone. Might respawn, but anyway, they're another faction that basically act like an intermediate. Another faction that does the same or similar, but holy shit, Slanesh is taking control of all of this. Something similar to that is, of course, the Nakai's faction and his satellite faction. So it's a very similar thing. In my case, I found that it's honestly not worth yet confederating, as I feel that the elves become much more powerful when you're just capturing territory for them and then they consolidate their forces in there and protect it, so you don't have to worry about protecting it yourself. Now, this ties in with the next feature, which is the Elven Colony availability. Since we are meant to be a pseudo horde faction, you have this unique ability to settle some colonies, and these colonies are essentially used as a resource. Currently, I can settle one more place. I have a number of places that give me more availability of this resource. So you can get them from missions, landmarks, technologies, Asur domination, and ancient Elven colonies. For example, if I look over here, this is an Elven colony, an ancient Elven colony. If you upgrade it enough, you will get the access to, let's see, building browser. You will get access to a unique building. So in this case, would be the walls of Arnheim. And as you can see here, when built in Sea Patrol Outposts, you get an additional colony. In this case, I actually took the place, so I won't be able to get that. However, I do believe that there is another building that allows you to get that for yourself. Is it all the way here? Yeah. So if you get it to level 5, you get... Oh, no, leave it level 4. No, level 3. Sorry. I'm still finding everything myself. So level 3, you'll get access to another colony, which makes sense since the other buildings are at level 3. When I say other buildings, I go to our starting location, and if we see Tower of the Stars, over here we built the Lore Master's Watch, which is the landmark. It gives us global faction buffs, which are really cool. Spell resist, etc. I'm actually not using this, but the cooldown for spells is really nice. And you get extra building space for colony, and it shows over here. So you see you have the landmarks, the colonies, and all the beautiful stuff, and it tells you how many you have. For example, in my case, I have 5 colonies myself. I do have one which I want to get rid of. I'll probably sell it after I decide if I get the Sword of Cain or not, and I built it up and probably sell it to good old High Elves friends. Now, that is the colonies, but these colonies also bring us a number of new resources, namely Elven Trade and Dragonship Supplies. Why do I say namely? They do have also dedication, but that we'll deal with separately. So in this case, I don't have any money left, so let's find a place that I have started upgrading, or I have the option to upgrade. Okay, like this. So it's a separate thing. Oh boy, I think I've upgraded everything, and that's the reason why. Let's just click building browser and you will see what I mean. So you get these 3 different types of buildings. You get the Sea Patrol Outpost building. This is your capital building of sorts. It tells you the income you get, and these you can build into a variety of different buildings, which you unlock through research. We'll see that in a second. Now, these give you separate influences trades according to where it is built. For example, if the True Warden's Pavilion is built in a coastal settlement, it increases income from ports faction-wide by 1%. And this is going to cost you 361 gold and 300 Elven Trade. In my case, because I wanted more influence, and this is one way to get influence and research. I built the seat of Sea Lord, which gives you dedication, influence, control, corruption resistance. I built this against Slanesh and the result of corruption. And when control is positive, you gain additional benefits. And there's also the Dragonship Supply creation. And again, this gives you benefits either if it is in a coastal settlement or if it is not. It is not, and it is. So, for example, I'm spending some Elven Trade, but then I get this buff where I get replenishment range if I'm leaving a seed lane, or if it's not in a coastal settlement, which is mostly where I build it, and I do believe I've been building quite a few over on this side. Yeah, you get income from post-battle loot, which is one of the ways I've been getting a lot of money in my faction. And it's really important to use Elven Trade to kind of boost as much as possible Dragonship supplies. As you can see, Dragonship supplies is very difficult to get in comparison to Elven Trade. Elven Trade, I basically get 1,000 per turn from Outposts, Colonies, everything. But then Dragonship supplies, I get much less. And you can, again, get these from a variety of different ways, but these resources are very limited because it is your main factor of limitation when you're building your faction. In my case, I am in turn 40 and I'm just going to tier 3 now. Again, this could be done faster. I think the main reason I didn't do it faster is I was trying to figure out how to do it, which gave me idea of this video. But it's really important that you try and get the discounts as early as possible. And the discounts come from a variety of things, such as the over here, you get 5% discount from provisioned mites. You get discounts based from other things. And these are the effects that we currently have from our unique Esther Dominion. You get 3 different sections, and we'll discuss those in a second. But essentially, Dragonship supplies are how you build your roving armies. You get 5 of them. You are allowed to recruit those based on the dedication I just showed you, and as well as a you have 1 to unlock from a research, which we'll see. Well, I call this a research. It's essentially a research. And the other 4 is you need to get 4 initiatives of each. I currently have 3, 2, and 2. So you get the colony dedication, the outpost dedication, and the dragonship dedication. What do these do? They're essentially buffs you get for yourself. So let's skip the L1 leaders for now. These buffs, each time you equip one, you cannot undo it, and it makes the next 100 more expensive. I get 245 per turn, and I get these from the Sea Patrol outpost. So essentially every 3 turns I get 1 or 2 of these, according to, well, now it's 2 because they're all becoming very expensive. As you can see, I got an Elven Colony, I got trade increase, trade tariffs, army buffs, and essentially that's what these are. It's like this one's to build your economy, this one is to buff your armies and your faction in general. Just a bit of buffs also to heroes, to I guess there's a bit of construction and things, but it's mostly just generic utilities. And then this is for your armies, to get your armies up and running, going and becoming stronger. And this also unlocks a number of different buildings on your dragon ship. We'll get to that in a second. Finally, well, not finally, just before we get to the dragon ship, which is the unique building, the unique faction, we have different lords, the legendary lords, Tyrion, Alariel, Alitanar, Teclis, Altarion, and Emric, our favorite friends. Now, for example, if I click on Tyrion, I can consult Tyrion. I have gifted Tyrion 10 settlements, and because I've gifted Tyrion 10 settlements, he will be able to give me a lot of beautiful things. First and foremost, it will cost me 1,000 dedication to do so, but you will essentially get Tyrion's champions, which means your Phoenix Guard, your White Lions, and your Silver Harms just become all that more amazing. All your lords and heroes are leveled up by 1. You get plus 10 favor of the Phoenix Skin King. You get a couple of unique items, such as the Bow of the Seafarer, which is honestly not bad, and the Armor of Dawn. And you get also Cavalry Command for 3 turns, where you have all your armies buffed up by a significant amount. and each one of them has these amazing buffs. I think Alariel's is one of the better ones, and I should probably start working on boosting Alariel, where it gives Woodsman and Vanguard deployment for Sisters of Avalorn for all armies, and that's your essentially endgame unit. Teclis boosts the hell out of the Swordmaster's Hoed, and Imric, of course, Imric loves his dragons, so he gives Dragon Princess a lot of really good, powerful. Honestly, with the current balance, I think Devastating Flanker and Perfect Vigor are amazing for them, as they are incredibly strong units, but again, not the units I would go for. So yeah, you have all of this to play around with and explore. Now that I've run you through that, how do you get your economy running? Essentially speaking, you need to establish as many outposts as possible. And the idea is that the more outposts you have, the better your economy is going to be, and the more trade you're going to have. Trade, I mean Elven trade, and of course you're going to have a decent amount of income. I mean, I do have 2 armies. I don't have my economy balanced or optimized whatsoever. Definitely could be a lot more powerful, but that said, being at this level 40 turns in without having struggled almost at all on legendary shows you how relatively easy it is to get your faction going. What I do recommend is that you rush as fast as possible to get the Noble Consulate. This will give you all the influence you need. If you have 3 or 4 of these, you're going to be absolutely doing grand. And then I found that one of the better things to have is the Coastbound Causeways. It gives you a lot of buffs to your 3 of your main resources. You get more Dragonship supplies, you get more Elven trade, and you get more trade resources faction-wide. Now, as you see here, when there is an Elven colony in this province, you get the extra 5 Dragonship supplies, the extra trade, and extra faction resources. So it's really important to read the small print and chain things together. So in this case, Toranlek, I have my colony over here. I couldn't give away the Shrine of Cain because there was no one close by that I could give it to, so I ended up having to take it. But the Shrine of Cain, if it wasn't my colony, I would have given it to someone else, and that would have allowed me to have 2 of these going. I believe at Tor Acne, yeah, here I have it going. So I do have the Watchtowers. I found the Watchtowers to be pretty decent. Gives you good defensive army and a little bit of trade. The others do give you trade, but then they give you different types of units. So essentially I just went for the thing that I felt was the best and the most optimal resource-wise. With regards to the rest, if you are struggling for Elven trade, goods warehouses are fantastic and amazing. If you want some money, you can get money by upgrading your Elven Decothique procurement company. Now, this helps because it works with increased trade tariffs. Now, that said, I do not know if this is global. If it's global, it's extremely busted and really, really strong. If it's not global, then there are problems. The Elven Embassy is your go-to for influence, a little bit of gold, and it's really good that helps you build kind of an economic and diplomatic relationship with the owner of the settlement. And then there's the Artisan's Bazaar, where it gives you gold based on the income, 10%, and if there's a lot more income, you gain more Elven trade and another 10% of that income. But again, it's only a little bit. The trick here is the economy of scale. The economy of scale here is incredible. We have essentially, you can see how many outposts I have. I have a number of outposts here, 3 or 4 of those. I have another one up here, and then I essentially have all of the Isthmus of Lastria, all of this. So 3, 6, 9, 10, 13 settlements over there. And I do have the couple of settlements down here where I kind of saved Imric because now he's been absolutely wiped out by the rats. He's still deciding to send his army across the sea, but you know, at least he's safe and sound here from any invasion of any sorts. Last thing and final thing. checked if my mic was on, and I hope it is on because I've been rambling for 10 minutes. Last and final thing is we will look at our beautiful ship. So our ship is built as, honestly, a Black Ark, as much as Hyles would hate to hear me say that. You have the... It's very simple. Again, once you figure out the structure, you have the mast, the capital building, which is your Dragonship itself. You have the military, and you have the economy. Now, the economy is split between a few buildings, which you then specialize as you go along. So you have 6 different buildings over here that you then specialize, and you choose one over the other. So, for example, my lookout mast, which gives me more movement range, upgrades into Elven Sails, and then in tier 5 goes into either Wanderer Sails, which gives you more overall movement range. However, if you do decide that you want to have something a little bit more combat related, you can have 30% campaign movement range replenished after each battle. So if you have a few battles coming up, you can quickly swap from one to another. What is important to note, this costs Dragonship supplies, and Dragonship supplies are extremely resource intensive. So apart from growth, which is relatively slow on the ships, you need to also pay a significant amount of Dragonship supplies, and Dragonship supplies are difficult and hard to come by. Again, there is probably an optimal way of doing this for increasing efficiency. I did not find myself needing to build a lot, because I've been able to supply myself mostly with very basic units, sea guards with shields. These guys, the ships companies, have been incredibly useful, and the archers with light armor, always a good choice. And good old Silak One Eye. Oh, I just realized I lost one of my Eagle Claw bolt throwers. I might need to get that back. Oh, yeah. Keeping that in mind, it's good to note all of this stuff. I do believe that's just about it. I mean, there's the Intriguer Core, there's the Rides, Sword of Cain if I want, and it showed you everything. I hope you kind of find this useful. It is a lot of information to take in. What I do recommend with this guy is, with Aislinn, is you take it easy. I took the option to come to Alt 1. You have other options, as you can see back here. You have 3 options where to go. I went to Alt 1. I decided to invade and establish the High Elves over here. My goal is to just expand with the High Elves and push them, where I essentially take territory. And whenever I take territory, they send dozens of armies. As you can see here, I took territory down here. They sent a couple of armies to fight Mastamundi and the accursed troop. Up here, Marathi decided to attack them. They dragged me into the war, paid me off handsomely, and I just took territories, and they've capped the territories. Normally, this would be a no-no for me. Normally, I would just slowly and carefully be taking every single settlement, making sure that there aren't these nitwits left around. But in this case, there are. Yeah. Thank you very much for watching. It's been a pleasure playing with this guy. I hope you do enjoy him as much as I did. And have a good one, guys. Bye-bye.